I stare blankly at the floor. Of course. Why would I make things easy for myself? Another thing. The Lucasi is still around, no doubt biding its time. Don't let it approach. It lies. It charms. It'll try to trick you. If you see anyone else here, anyone at all, run back to me at once. I clutch my head and sigh. What does it want anyway? To eat me? Ilar licks their lips. Yes. And can you blame it? They look me up and down. I stare at them. You're serious? I don't want to get into the details at this moment. Suffice it to say, be watchful at all times. And for depth's sake, don't agree to any propositions. Lucasi are powerful to begin with and nigh impossible to get rid of if you make a deal with them. I rub the bridge of my nose. Let me get this straight. I have to remember all of these things to avoid being eaten, but I can lose memories at any time. There has to be another way. I grab Ilar's arm. What if you stay with me the entire time? What if you never let me out of your sight? Ilar shakes their head. As much as I'd like to, I must rest. That means no heart vessel for me and very limited awareness of this place. Oh, Lura, this is not happening. I pace in a panic, heart racing. Insight flashes. Don't you have a spell or something to help me remember? Something hard to forget? That's not a bad idea. Ilar massages the back of their neck. Oh, okay. That was eerie. Back of the neck and gingerly looks around the room. Let me see. They take a few quick steps away, pluck something from the air, and return to me. Gripping my hand and looking it all over, they fixate on a spot on my wrist and jab something into it. Ah! Wincing, I instinctively jerk away, but Ilar's grip tightens, holding me still. Look at me and repeat this. Let the image and words burn into your heart. Sensual pleasures wane, but pain I make my anchor. Long as this pain endures, I too shall remain. What indeed? What? I grunt, struggling. Say it. The intense look in Ilar's eyes leaves no room for arguments. I try to steady my racing pulse, but they drive the sharp object deeper into me. It burns. I struggle more. They pull me closer and hiss into my ear. Say it. Gasping for breaths, I push the words out through gritted teeth. Abruptly, Ilar lets go. Satisfied. I stumble back, pulling my arm free. A shard of metal drops onto the floor with a clink, leaving drops of red. Still catching my breath, I shout at Ilar, "How dare you!" What? You asked for. You could have warned me. Ilar shrugs. I thought it'd be no trouble for a magus of your caliber. I fume silently. Still grinning, they move on. I'll leave you to the journal then. Remember, it's a ritual with a circular gate, some black powder, and a mantra. Can you manage that much? I guess, I say, not at all certain. They smile and reach a hand toward me. I look away. Don't touch me. No fun. They pull their hand back, smile, only wavering a little. Once you find the spell, bring me the instructions. I'll tell you how to proceed, and the Abyss-Devar will soon cease to be a problem. Simple. Does anyone believe that? Does anyone believe a word this person says? I can make out even more of the objects behind them now. Their form is thinning out by the breath. Hurry. With a mischievous grin, Ilar gives my wrist a squeeze. The pain of the cut flares up again. You won't forget this, right? I'm freaking out, so I wince. I wince and yank my wrist free, backing away. I said, don't touch me. They chuckle, holding their hands up. All right, all right. It was your idea. As they finish speaking, their form starts to disintegrate. Their smile doesn't fade even as their body melts away. And then they were gone without a trace. Finally alone. Wow. I really like these. So if you're going to make a game with simple dialogue choices, I do think it's really important that that they be like emotionally charged. This is a lot to take in. I let out the anger pent up inside me. Instead of having dialogue choices where it's like, take the knife, reject the knife. Like, doing it in this way sort of, despite the typographical errors and sort of the grammatical errors, this is a really engrossing story, and the sort of the mood of it is incredibly engaging. And so you have to have dialogue choices that are like this, precisely because it's like this is a lot to take in. I finally give in to the weight of exhaustion and slump to the floor. Maybe we should just get the microphone closer to my face and then you can hear me. I'm so tired. How can I possibly get out of this? What did I do to deserve this? Why is this happening to me? Pathetic. Why me? You're pathetic. Don't you get it? No one's coming. Only you can help yourself. You'll have to do it. Trust yourself. Yourself. I clamp both ears shut and shake my head over and over. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Echoes dance in the great chamber. The voice in my head recedes, but not without leaving a last retort. Coward. I will show you who's the coward, I mutter, pulling myself to standing by the desk. I will show you. All right, no, let's second take. I'll show you, I tell myself. Remember, don't forget, don't let anyone approach, find the spell. I repeat the words in my head over and over, trying to make them stick. Pages of the book flutter, though the air is still. Weird. I'm procrastinating, aren't I? Yes, you are. Fine. I'll get to work. I regard the book, pondering what to do. This question, where do I even begin? Hello, journal, it's me, your Hello, journal, it's me, your master. I must have been a formidable magus indeed. But hopefully not too formidable for even myself to decipher. That would be quite the irony. I suppose one of these bookmarks might be a good place to start. A larger coin engraved with what looks like a simple human figure catches my eye. I flip open the page it marks and see... I, Samsara Fenaren, High Adept of Aum, Farseer, Savior of Darin Square, Guardian Preferent, do mark these pages with my warden's utterance. May all who trespass upon them see only the murk of the roiling seas. May Divarna of the 4 Fathoms aid in their protection and thwart any who would bring them harm. Sublimation. The great work. Ooh! Alchemy! We're gonna do some alchemy! Nice. The temporary liberation of heart from the profane vessel is not new in itself, but the process is fraught with danger and limitation. The duration is never long enough, and the vessel is vulnerable to uninvited spirits while the heart roams. Every mystic order since Lura's time has sought to perfect the technique. The Sanguine Sages, mere synthesis. The Almont Pygmy Saints, enshrining flesh. The thrice-bathed Orients, Jonafaction. All variations on the same theme, freeing the heart from a profane vessel indefinitely, absolute freedom, immortality. Many gullible, eager novices have met their end in this pursuit, used as experiments by magi whose only concern is prolonging their own existence. It's cruel enough to sever any person's heart and observe its dissolution. The tremendous fear, pain, and regret is hard for any virtuous magus to witness. Even worse is to do it to children and youth, which are the preferred candidates. But worst of all is when hypnosis, bribery, or even outright kidnapping have been used to obtain these vessels. Some less scrupulous sorts also use the opportunity to mistreat their still living subjects in ways which I do not wish to stain these pages with. I'm outraged to think these things can be associated with any magus. It is that outrage, and perhaps a measure of arrogance, that made me decide to never be a part of these outdated and inhumane practices, which brings me to the subject of sublimation. The idea is threefold. 1. Entering and abiding in a state of near death. 2. Exposure to the manifold properties of waters at the threshold between the seas and the profane realm. 3. Prolonging the above state until the heart is more attuned to the seas than the profane and attain liberation from the vessel. The alternative method of immortality through transmigration to a homunculus, this is straight up alchemy, has been considered and rejected by the author. Oh, he's not a big fan of alchemy, apparently. No homunculus, no matter how well constructed, can outlast the aging of the cosmos. Furthermore, this should be an homunculus. An homunculus will still be bound by time and space, whereas a detached heart will not. Huh? Great work. By the way, the great work is the magnum opus. It's another alchemical thing. It sounds important, but I don't understand most of it. There's no mention of a gate, black powder, or mantra. I thumbed the side of the volume. It's at least 1,000 pages. I frown. Should I push on and hope for a miracle? It's that or be consumed by the abyss, I suppose. I also don't want to have to tell Ilar that I gave up before I started. Imagine the tongue lashing I'd get with that grin, no less. The stinging on my wrist swells just then, irritating me. I bite my lip and focus on the words. Mouth dry, the reddish-black ink glistens, menacing. Will I die here if I fail? The rustling of paper is like sand grating my eardrums. Why does it have to be me? The tepid leather cover sweats against my skin. A distant rumble, rolling, an inner rumble, pounding. It's not even my fault. I never chose this. Crash. Darkness beyond the window pane. Schlap. A blinding flash. I shut my eyes from the piercing glare of arc lamps in the office of discipline, rain pelting the window. A ruler mercilessly strikes into my palm. Slap. Slap. Strikes 13. The clock. Eye stinging I stand. I mustn't shed tears. I mustn't look weak. I won't give her the satisfaction. Her? A tobacco-laden voice, gruff, square as the corners of this office. That's enough of that, Samsara Fen Aaron. You do not give excuses. You do not shirk responsibility. Think not of only your image, but the image of all magi. Do you understand? A stiff nod, fire in my chest burning, stifling. I can't hear you. Do you understand? Flecks of white fly from her sharp lips. Yes, Ms. Lansworn. The plump belly loosens a notch. Too close. I will myself not to tumble backward. Now go draft the letter of confession. You lunch after, not before. Yes, Ms. Lansworn. Pressing together trembling lips, I touch the tips of my right hand fingers to my chest and then my forehead, turn around and march off, eyes locked under the square patterned tiles on the floor. It's not fair, I remember thinking, trying not to cry. I hadn't done anything wrong. 11 rows, wall to wall, 12 columns, window to door, 86 intersects. They said it was improper to dine with a lowborn, but she was kind to me. Oh, there's the options. Okay, I'm going to read the rest of this and then we'll save. She was kind to me. Step between the lines. They said it was scandalous to touch an untouchable, but I liked the softness of her skin. Don't cry. They made me turn her away. They made me. The only nice thing I had. Don't cry. Crash! Bright flash upon the journal pages. Rain pelting the window. I stroke my palm. A ghost pain's haunt. A memory. All right, so now that I noticed that, like, how to actually, like, save, I'm going to do so. We're going to go with this empty slot. And I think we're going to stop there. I might continue this next week. So next week we're gonna do some more queer bundle games from itch.io, ones that are sort of don't fall into sort of conventional patterns, and we'll have a lot more fun with the queerness of the world. All right, I want to thank everybody for showing up. I want to thank Lauren for dropping the band hammer and freaking out at my reading of this particular game, and I guess I will see you all again